Good morning, students. Students, we have started our lesson number 15, Life Processes in Living Organism of Science 2. And in our previous lectures, we have studied about coordination in plants and human beings, and also we have learnt about excretion in plants and human beings. So in today's lecture, we shall learn about a new topic, the nervous system. Okay, so let's begin. In all of our life, we are living in a continuous storm of stimuli. Shivering from cold, suffering from pain, etc. are the examples. Nervous system is made up of special cells called nerve cells or neuron and nerve fibers. Human nervous system can be divided into three parts. First, central nervous system. Second, peripheral nervous system. And third, autonomic nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system consists of nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord. The autonomic nervous system is made up of special collection of nerve cells and nerves which control the working of internal organs. So these are the three types of nervous system. Understood? Let's study the central nervous system first. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. The brain. Our brain controls the rest of our body. The brain lies inside the hard and bony skull. Between the brain and the skull, there fills a clear liquid which protects the brain from jerks and blows. The brain weighs about 1.5 kilograms. It is made up of millions of nerve cells and nerve fibers. The brain has three parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla. Largest part of the brain is cerebrum, which controls sense organs. Cerebellum or small brain coordinates the working of our muscles and helps in maintaining our balance. Medulla or brain stem is like a bulb below the cerebellum. It keeps on working day and night, whether we are awake or asleep. Medulla controls the involuntary actions like heartbeats. The spinal cord. The medulla continues downwards along the back of the body as the spinal cord, which is located inside the backbone. The spinal cord is a well-protected cable through which messages travels up and down. The nerve cell. Spinal cord is made up of nerve cells and nerve fibers. The spinal cord links the brain with the rest of the body. In reflex action, the messages do not reach the brain. Messages are received by the spinal cord and the action is directed by the spinal cord itself. Now let's see the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system consists of the nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord. Nerves carry impulses to and from the central nervous system. We have learned this in our previous lecture. Nerves perform different functions. Nerves which carry impulses from the sense organs to the brain or the spinal cord are called as sensory nerves. These impulses are interpreted by brain and we are able to see, hear, smell and taste, etc. So, these messages result in the movement of muscles or secretion by gland. Such nerves are called motor nerves. Understood, children? Some nerves do both of the above functions of carrying the impulses from the sense organs to the brain and the spinal cord, and also of conveying messages from the brain and the spinal cord to the muscles or gland, and they are called as mixed nerves. Got it, children? So, now we shall learn about autonomic nervous system. In that, we will be learning about reflex action. Now, reflex action may be defined as the automatic or involuntary response to a sensory stimulus which is not under conscious control. Some reflex actions are inborn and others are learnt. Inborn reflexes are inherited and need not to be learned. Now, when a person accidentally touches a hot object, a pain sensitive receptor cell in his finger tip detects the heat stimulus and triggers off the nerve impulse. From here, the impulse travels along a sensory nerve to the spinal cord. The message is processed and the response is generated in the spinal cord itself. Then this response travels down through a motor nerve to the muscles of the arms. The muscle of the arm receives the response and his arm muscles contract, lifting the person's finger away from the hot object. So, a simple reflex action. The simple reflex action is a purely involuntary action. When a hot object is touched by a hand is withdrawn quickly. When an object approaches near the eyes, it starts blinking. Bone of the knee is tapped, the knee is jerked. Okay? Now let's see human endocrine system. Endocrine glands are present in different parts of the body: pituitary, pineal, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas, parathyroid, thymus, and gonads are organized endocrine glands in our body. In addition to these, gastrointestinal tract, liver, kidneys, heart also produces hormones. First, hypothalamus. It lies at the floor of diencephalon. It regulates many body functions. It contains several groups of neurosecretory cells which produces hormones. These hormones regulate the synthesis and secretion of pituitary hormones. The hormones produced by hypothalamus are of two types: releasing hormones and inhibiting hormones. The second one is pituitary gland. It is very small, the size of a large pea seed, but it is very important gland and it controls the functions of all other endocrine glands in the body. It is therefore called as the master gland of the body. The pituitary gland is located in a bony cavity called sella turcica and it is attached to hypothalamus by a stalk. It has three parts: anterior, middle, and posterior. Anterior pituitary. Growth of hormones or somatotropin hormone. The hormone stimulates the body growth by increased anabolic activity, retention of calcium, synthesis of more proteins, enlargement of long bones, muscles, and visceral organs. So, this is the hormone secreted by anterior pituitary gland. Second is prolactin, maternity hormone. It stimulates the growth of mammary gland during pregnancy and lactation afterwards. The next one is anterior pituitary. The third one, thyroid stimulating hormone. It stimulates thyroid to produce and release its hormones. Fourth one is adrenocorticotropic hormone. It activates adrenal cortex to produce its hormones. The next one, follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. It stimulates sperm formation in males, growth of ovarian follicles, and secretion of estrogen from them in females. Luteinizing hormone, that is LH. In female, the hormone stimulates ovulation and secretion of progesterone from corpus luteum. In males, the hormone is also called interstitial cell stimulating hormone. It induces Leydig cells of testes to secrete testosterone. We have learned this in our previous lectures. Let's see the next hormone. FSH and LH hormones are collectively called gonadotropin or gonadotropic hormones. Okay? The next gland is pineal gland. It is a small stalked body located on the dorsal side of forebrain. The gland secretes hormone called melatonin. It controls mood, sleep, regulates sexual cycle, body temperature. It also influences metabolism, pigmentation, the menstrual cycle, as well as our defense capability. The next gland, thyroid gland. It is the largest endocrine gland which is attached to the trachea below larynx. It is bilobed or H-shaped. Thyroid secretes thyroxine. Iodine is required for the production of these hormones. The thyroid gland is composed of follicle and stromal tissues. Each thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells enclosing in a cavity. The next, thyroxine control basal metabolic rate. It determines the consumption of energy, the tendency of body to gain weight and physical activity. Body temperature, heart, physical development, mental development, muscular activity, nervous activity, and also sexual development. Next is parathyroid gland. 4 parathyroid glands are present on the back side of thyroid gland, one pair each in the 2 lobes of the thyroid gland. The glands secretes parathormone. The hormone maintains optimum level of blood calcium and phosphorus by reducing their excretion and mobilization from bones when required. Parathyroid hormone increases the calcium level in the body. It acts on the bones and stimulates the process of bone resorption. Next gland is thymus. Thymus gland is a soft pinkish lobular structure located on the dorsal side of the heart and aorta. The thymus plays a major role in the development of immune system. The gland secretes a peptide called as thymosin. Thymosin play a major role in differentiation of T lymphocyte which produces the cell mediated immunity. So children, let's check the summary. We have learnt about the nervous system. It is the master controlling and communicating system of the body. It controls and coordinates all the essential functions of the human body. Isn't it? We just saw it. The nervous system has a major division, central and peripheral. Central or CNS controls the brain and spinal cord, whereas the peripheral nervous system, nerves connecting the central nervous system to muscles and the organs. Structural classification of nervous system. The central nervous system or CNS consists of the brain and the spinal cord, which acts as the integrating and command center of the nervous system. They interpret incoming sensory information and issues instruction based on the past experience and current condition. Okay, now the peripheral nervous system or PNS. It is the part of the nervous system outside the CNS. They link all parts of the body by carrying impulses from the sensory receptor to the CNS and from the CNS to the appropriate glands or muscle. It consists of the nerve cells that extend from the brain and spinal cord. So, children, we have discussed about the endocrine system and why it is important to us, in which we also studied various glands like pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid, adrenal glands, pancreas, thymus gland. We have studied their location, functions, and also their disorders. So, children, I hope you all have understood today's lecture. And, children, please do read the lesson after watching this video attentively. I hope you all must have understood the concept. So, thank you, students. We shall see you in the next video with a new topic. Till then, take care. Bye, students.